Hey everybody, quick video today. I had quite the stir on the last SRX video that I did, so I wanted to do a second to do a comparison between the E2 Blacks and the SRX. I got a lot of hate on the last YouTube video, and the comments still, even there one this morning, kept coming in. Some people cannot get it through their head that there is a huge difference between the two machines that we have. So I wanted to put them side by side and go through again. I had quite a few comments that said I was uneducated in the fact that I didn't know what I was talking about with the SRX. So let me give you a little back history. I've been dealing with vacuums for many years. Put myself through college. I've sold Rainbow. I've sold Electrolux. I've sold Filter Queen. So I'm very familiar with a machine. It's not the fact that I'm uneducated, it's the fact that the machines are not doing what some people claim they should. And I'm going to show you that. I will go through the SRX in a minute. The E2 Black has been around, this model's been around for many years. It was the model before the SRX came along. Quite a few little differences on the machine. The main difference is the hose, the power head, the water basin, the look of the machine. The dolly on this one comes completely off. The dolly on the SRX does not come off. The machine has two hydraulics. The motor part lifts up, you slide the water basin out. The E2 Black motor completely comes off. It's easier to service and get to your separator to clean. Your water basin lifts out. A lot of people wanted to know the difference in the size quantity. So the E2 Black has a volume of 2.5 quarts. That's how much water will fit in this bowl. The SRX will hold 2 quarts. So substantially smaller in my book, a little more slimline. The problem with that is you're going to have to keep changing your water more often. The dirtier the water, the less that the water is going to be able to hold on to the dirt as it's coming into the machine. Do your research on that. I know what I'm talking about. Both machines have HEPA filters on it. The E2 Black, it's a smaller HEPA that fits right here. You don't have to have a screwdriver to get into this. You pop the cord holder off. I take that back. I use a flathead to pop this loose at the bottom. The HEPA pops right out. This one you do have to have a flathead screwdriver to undo 5 or 6 screws in the back. Substantially larger HEPA filter on this. Literally it covers the entire back portion of this area. I think that they did that. I think Rexair did that because it would last longer. People would not have to change as much, but there is a filter. So some of the comments that I've got in the previous video was, these are maintenance-free machines, and that is absolutely not the truth. You have, with any machine, I don't care what brand you choose, you have maintenance that has to be done. This one, just because the water basin is collecting the dirt, does not mean that you don't have maintenance on it. Both machines, you have to clean these separators. Now, whether you choose to do that every time you clean it, which is unpractical, or every couple of times that you use the machine, you need to do that. Take it off, hot soapy water, some Dawn toothbrush that comes with it. This one, the toothbrush is in here. Toothbrush, it's little brushes right here on this one. Again, I don't like this because you have to dig up under it, but there's your brush for this one. Remove your nut and then your little brush to clean the separator. You also have to change these HEPA filters. It is ideal that you have these machines serviced by a professional. With that, whether you take it to a Rainbow dealer, repair shop, whatever, they can replace the HEPA. Now, as of right now, you still cannot get the HEPA filters for these machines. A vacuum shop can't, so you would have to find a local Rainbow dealer to get the repair parts for that. This one, you can get the parts all day long from any kind of vacuum shop. I will do a comparison on the airflow and the suction in just a second. And again, a misconception with Rainbow people, the water is a very easy distraction from really what's happening. The water does catch the dirt. I mean, you see it, the proof's in the water after cleaning. But the reason Rainbow added HEPA filters years ago was because the water was not catching all of the dirt. I cannot tell you, I run a janitorial company, I cannot tell you how many vacuums that I've seen where the filters are so clogged, even a Rainbow, are so clogged because people are using carpet fresh and baking soda and they're pouring it on the carpet and vacuuming it up. All of that stuff is a fine dust. Water will not catch that kind of stuff. It's just like sheetrock dust. It is very fine. The water will not, it's not soluble. So that's the reason the Rainbow put the HEPA filters on. The old D3s, D4s, SE machines that did not have any kind of filter, you can literally take your finger, take the exhaust cap off, and take your finger and run it. And a lot of them you can see inside the motor. Run your finger around the exhaust of the exhaust port. You can run your finger around the exhaust port, and you can see you can see the fine dust that those machines were not catching. So, again, I hate it for all of you Rainbow fanatics that love them, but they do not catch all the dust. That's why they put HEPAs on both machines. Again, this HEPA filter is a lot smaller than the new SRX HEPA filter. So you do have service involved on that. The water basin, I think I mentioned, this one has 2.5 quarts. This one is a 2 quart, so a lot smaller water basin. This one has a 2-speed motor on it. High for cleaning. Low for air filtration. This one has 4 settings on it. It's on high. In the lowest setting. I was saying, and I'll get down close in a second so you can see this, the water's barely moving on the low setting on either one of these. This one more so than the SRX. The way the water bowl is designed, you would literally have to get a water bowl to see what I'm talking about. There is a little gap between the top of the water line and the inlet. That is to allow airflow to get under that. On the low setting, the air is just skimming the top of the water, and the HEPA is what's catching the fine dust on the air cleaning mode. Same with this one, just a little more agitation on low speed with the E2 Black. We got Chico over here having a conversation with a ghost evidently in the corner, so I mean, just carrying on the conversation. I don't understand what in the world. All right, so on the SRX, you have a standard tool kit. You've got your power nozzle manual. You've got your main motor manual, deflation bag, your standard dust brush, horsehair, dog grooming or cat grooming if you can hold the cat tool, inflator with a long extender that you can clean your dryer vents out under the fridge, your bare floor brush with grooves on it. This is for any bare floor surface. Upholstery tool with a little brush on it. It's designed for wet pickup. You can take this apart and clean it. Crevice tool, and your standard upholstery tool with a removable brush. This is your standard kit that comes with the machine. So you get this, power head, 2 wands, main machine, and then the hose. I had a lot of flack in the last video about this little tool and this power head. Any vacuum, you should be able to take a power head. If you're in a hurry, if you're vacuuming carpet and you don't have time to stop and pop this on, any power head, a good design, you should be able to turn the power of the brush roll off, run it across the floor, and pick up a piece of dirt, a little bit of sand, whatever. Yes, I know, I'm not stupid. This is designed for hard floor surfaces. But again, how many people have ever done that? You're vacuuming, you see something over here, you take this and it won't pick it up. It's aggravating. This design see the height difference with the wheels? This is your brush, removable brush strips, which is nice, and it's a stainless steel brush roll. The way this is raised so much, it does not allow you to pick up fine sand. I will show you that in a second. Belt in the middle on this one, belt in the middle on the black. One of the things that I did not cover, and I honestly did not know this, one of the design flaws, my opinion, is the release button on this power head. I looked at the manual, and even online last night, when you release the wand or put it back in the standing position, there's plastic on metal contact. So they recommend that either position, depress and lock it back into place. That way it will not cause this to wear out. This one, it's already been replaced once. I have the receipt for the repair shop, the Rainbow repair shop, that actually fixed that item for this lady. Your air vent control is just designed to release airflow. So if you're cleaning an area rug, mattress, whatever, you can open these vents. Your airflow is going to come from here and the bottom, so it decreases the airflow on that. You've got an LED light strip on this one, an LED light stripe on the other unit. I do like the fact, and let's show you the difference. There is a good, well, let me do it this way. It's not a foot difference, but you can see the SRX hose is a little bit longer than the E2 Black. Again, the longer hose I do like. I do love the fact the way they've designed this to go back into the machine. Putting the hose on the E2 Black is a little cumbersome. This has two rockers. Sit it in there, it locks in. So that is a good design. To undo it, press the button there and pull it off. I do not like the fact, again, your touch point here, there's no trigger lock on this new machine. So if you're vacuuming carpet and you've got a large area, you got to literally keep this depressed the whole time you're using it. I don't like that. Tool caddy on the front will hold your choice of any three tools. Most people put a dust brush, a crevice tool, and an upholstery tool on there. The E2 Black, you can see that will hold your bare floor brush on the machine. This one, you're out of luck. You just have to go to the closet and get it. This design, you've got two latches. They do wear out, just like anything, it's plastic. But to put it in, there's a little door here. Push up, and it locks into place. You can hear, and I've used these quite a lot, you can hear as you're pulling this around the house, you can hear suction or airflow seeping out around this design. I've not heard that on this new design. So anyway, let's do a quick, I'd mentioned the shampooer system. That one was used maybe once. Your mop head attachment system, again, to me, it's not practical at all. So I'm going to bring on, I need a little bit of assistance here. We're going to do a comparison in airflow on both machines. Oh, I forgot to mention, this one has a timer function. And I'll get down in a second and show it to you, but this one has a 30-minute, a 60-minute, and a 90-minute timer on this machine. This one, you just manually turn on and off. So I want to introduce Corey Hankins' House of Vacuums at the Triad here in High Point, North Carolina. A lot of the videos that I've done in the past, I come down here to the shop because it's very easy for me to set up, and I have a lot more room than I would in my den. So Corey, come join me real fast. We want to go over some of these machines. Again, if you're a Rainbow fanatic, this is not in any way, shape. I had people saying that I was biased in my last review of the SRX. Again, I've sold vacuums for years. I don't care what machine you choose. I'm just pointing out the facts on the differences in the machines and what is not good, what is not a good design choice for Rainbow on the new SRX. Again, if you love it, 2 thumbs up for you. I personally, there are some features that I do not like.
Yeah, the biggest thing is, I'm not a Rainbow person. I don't promote Rainbow, and it's not for the reasons of we don't sell them. We're a service center. We work on all brands. It's just the whole water ordeal. And, there's people out there that love the water, and that's fun. We're not bashing you at all. It's just when it comes to a practicality point of, if somebody's coming over, oh my gosh, I got a vacuum real quick, pull the vacuum out, vacuum, put it away.
Yeah.
These, you have to, put the water in. You got to set it up. If these fall down a flight of stairs, you're done. I mean, you've got to bring it into a service center, get it cleaned out, because essentially everything in that bin just got sucked through the motor, got into the motor, the fans, the HEPA filter, versus any other conventional vacuum. You just empty it or pick it up and keep going. So
funny story. As a kid, my mom had a D4, and we thought Rainbow was the bomb back in the mid-'80s when she bought hers. That machine lasted maybe 7 years. The reason it failed is just like he said. We accidentally tilted, those old dollies only had 4 wheels back in the day, and it was very easy to pull and yank that machine and make it tilt over, and you would hear the motor go, oh, and the water was just up into that motor. So her motor locked up a couple years later, and one time I remember this distinctly as a kid. She, just like you said, ran to grab the vacuum, fill it up with water, vacuum the house real fast because she had somebody coming over, and threw the vacuum back in the closet.
Forgot about it, I'm sure.
Forgot about it.
Yep.
And 4 days later, started smelling this stench. And if y'all ever have done that, you know what I'm talking about. It takes an act of God to get the smell out of these water basins. Yes. So don't ever do that, because water evaporates, and the whole time it's sitting on that water basin, it's going in the motor. So.
Yeah, but I mean, just like this one, it's rebuilt. We've got this one on the floor for sale. We've got an E2 Gold that's here for sale. Because we do realize there are people that love rainbows, and so each machine works differently. Of course, I'm going to say that is Rainbow the best vacuum for airflow and deep cleaning of carpets? Absolutely not. I'm a professional. This is my business. I know what these vacuums are supposed to do and how they work.
And we have gauges to prove it. It's just not. It's not our opinion. We have the proof in the pudding. So.
Correct. And the biggest thing is, I know Greg has stopped by the store a couple times, done some videos, and he's gotten a lot of disrespectful hate in regards to these vacuums and showing the processes and how they work, especially when it comes to this nozzle on bare flooring. Every vacuum cleaner that I sell in this store, and we represent the top brands in the industry, you can turn a brush roll off, hit the bare floor, and it's going to suck up whatever's there and keep going. Are these technically designed for bare floors?
No.
This one, absolutely not. Other brands, they're dual purpose. But in turn, that will mean that if it's not able to suck up the sand off of a bare floor, well, why is that? That would mean that the cavity here is too large, the airflow has too far of a path to travel, or it is poorly designed here and it's letting too much airflow in. Also, you want to think about that of how it's deep cleaning your carpet, because if it can't pick up sand on a flat surface, is it really digging all the way down to your flooring?
It'll probably do mediocre on thicker pile carpeting, but you get to a like an Oriental rug type situation, it's not going to be as effective.
No,
so.
and even this one here, this was their first generation at a 2-speed vacuum. This is their traditional machine, and it in turn, they have a very small channel on both sides of this belt, and that's for creating more velocity of airflow to it gets it right to the floor versus a big open cavity that's cavernous that it has fall through.
Even with this one, it's not. There's not a lot of height on this design. Let me see if y'all can. Yeah, I hate the twisting brushes, but they did that because the belt on this one is actually on the side of the machine. So they put these on. These wear out, but you can see there's not a lot of height. Hold that one up.
And then, this one, it's these wheels here do a lot, and then it's got.
You see the height difference right there? So that's what he's saying.
And that is clearance for the brush roller bearings themselves.
Right. Yeah, you got your bristles that are sticking up above that, but well, not barely, but yeah.
But it has to do with the airflow getting to the actual floor, and then in turn, this one even has the gates on the front for the thicker carpeting. I've not tried this on the thick frigé. I do not know if it will work.
What was the old PN1 that they had, the long rectangular?
That was the SE D4D3 standard rectangle.
And they had something similar to that on those power heads back in the day too. Yep. So again, it was just a little plastic slider that went back and forth on those. So let's do a quick air test. Yep. All right, so I just wanted to show the on and off button. And it remembers the last setting that you had it on. Full power. $60.
So that's a solid 60.
Okay.
We'll try it one more time to give it 3 times.
And show them the timer function on that real fast.
So, on, timer.
30-minute, 60-minute, 90-minute.
And then on.
Yep. All right, let's go over to E2 Black.
Do this one first.
Again, you have high power and the bottom one is low. Look at that. Thank God. Good. Okay. 80. Registering what a filter queen would pick up.
And then 3 times on this one.
Yep.
And just so, I'll do a quick little blip on this. This is how we register what vacuums in the industry pick up. It's an airflow meter that will, if you've ever been in a hospital and they have you blow on those meters to how much capacity you can hold, similar thing for a vacuum of how much airflow is coming through the center of the hose, and that's how we measure these. And we kind of have them marked off as the industry. Rainbow has always been around that 1 to 2 range since the D3s way back in the day.
But the reason I wanted to show you guys that, again, I got a lot of hate on the new design. You can physically see for yourself they have changed the motor. I've not been able to tear one apart yet, nor do I want to, but the motor, the size of the motor, the function of the motor in the new SRX is nothing like the E2 Black. I said in many of my comments, replying to people on the last video, I will stick with an E2 Black any day over the SRX because they have decreased the power in this machine. So now you see it for yourself. 60 compared to 80. Airflow.
And also that could have a reason to do with the sand pickup on bare floors with the power nozzle. If it's, you're losing from 60 to 80, that's a large number.
Yeah.
And if it's not adequately getting the suction to the floor where it's supposed to be, then in turn that can cause some issues too.
Cool. So I wanted to do an up close on the toolkit. I mean, again, standard toolkit, your shampooer, removable tank, great for small rooms of carpeting. If you get into a large area carpet, I don't know that I would recommend that. I would stick with the Bissell Big Green machine or something like that because of the tank capacity and the pickup volume. You're going to have to constantly stop and be filling this up and dumping the water out of the water basin, dirty water. And then your mop rain jet attachments as well. So, all right, let's do a quick sand test and then on both of these, and then we will.
Before we do this one, just to make sure we're fair and we're not having anyone saying that we're cheating in any way, we will make sure that we show that these grates will be closed and no other former, any type of airflow is leaking out on this machine. But again, I wanted to address the issue with the videos that he's done. Greg's a great guy. He comes to the store all the time. He does lots of videos, and they're informative videos. They're not bashing anything at all. I grew up working on vacuums, and back in the day, Rainbow was always the vacuum that I aspired to have because it was, an amazing machine. Now that I'm in the industry, I've learned over the years. I don't own a Rainbow now, but that doesn't mean that there's not people out there that enjoy them. So, in that said, please do not be disrespectful in these comments because this is just an informative video.
Yep.
And some sand. So we'll just do a thin little. And we'll start with the SRX. Again, showing open, closed. We're going to ramp this up on high power. Lower this back. And you notice on bare flooring, you run it like you're supposed to. But on bare floor, of course, you will turn that off. And you're supposed to be able to we're going to turn this over, and you see, and I want to point this out as well, I wouldn't even really use this on bare flooring now that I see this 100%. Because
it's going to scratch your hardwoods.
100%. The little piece of dirt, rock right there is going to run a scratch all across your wood floor.
Yep.
So this one is not even suitable for any flooring whatsoever.
And you can see there is some pink in the water basin.
This one, they designed it with a serpentine belt on the side, clear channels, so it's going to have a direct path. Full power. Of course, running it on carpet. And they picked it right up. And there's nothing that it's going to be scratching with it. Kind of did, you know, I don't really know the word to use other than they kind of done a disservice to the customers buying these, because now you physically have to switch tools 100% of the time, especially if you have that wood flooring in the home, because of that belt channel will pick up a pebble or something and scratch it.
So they make you have to use this. And again, I've already said this is designed for bare floors of any type, but in most people that I know cleaning a home, sometimes you're not going to take the time to stop, change that attachment from the carpet head to the bare floor. That was the whole purpose of me going over that in the last video. Let's show a SIBO, and again, I'm not here to promote any vacuum. I mean, y'all can see he carries anything and everything that you want. Every house is different, so one of the things that I like about Corey is he customizes. When a customer comes in, he asks a lot of questions. He's not going to be like a big box store.
With a standard carpet attachment, if you turn that off, it will also pick up the sand and then move right back.
What I was saying was I like the fact that instead of dealing with a big box store, here you walk in, he asks a lot of questions. Every house is different. Your needs are going to be different than Joe Blow down the street. So he will get you into a machine that fits your needs. So let's...
Of course, the power nozzle is turned off. It is turned off, full suction, right over and it's done. Right back to carpet.
a lot quieter design too.
Airbelt E3 Premium. This is just to show airflow differences. Maximum suction. So we're at 80.
That's what the E2 Black was.
But that's why we have 2 meters, because yes, this one is 80, which is the same one at this. But the way these vacuums are designed, these create more airflow. So now we're on a 7. And we'll do it 3 times.
Versus a 1.
Versus the one with the rainbow. And yes, the E2 Black produced an 80 on this. But the actual true test is this, and you can see the proof is right there.
It's airflow that picks up dirt and dust, not suction.
Correct, because any vacuum, go to your closet, grab your vacuum cleaner, Take a penny, put it in your hand. Take your hose, put over it, hold it, turn it off, wait for the suction to dissipate, lift. That penny will still be there because you had no airflow.
So there you go. There's the comparison between the SRX, the E2 Black, and then we threw in a SIBO at the very end just to show you the difference in the power. So again, I did this to combat some of the hate and to explain myself a little better because the last video was very short. Again, this is just my opinion. You can take it or leave it. I don't care. You pick a vacuum. You're the one that's going to be using it every day. So again, whatever makes you happy, you go for it. I just want to point out the differences in the new design versus the older Rainbows. There is no comparison. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Hope to see you soon.